Yeah, it's been quite cold this morning here already, Carol. We're in the Lowry Theatre in Salford Quays talking about how we're all living longer these days. This exhibition has been put together by experts at the University of Southampton. And one thing that really leapt out, I think, from Louise's discussions earlier this morning, and I'm sure you'll agree, was to hear a couple of experts say that retirement is an outdated concept. So let's then consider the world of work. As we get older, will we work longer, whether we want to or not? As we live longer, it's inevitable that we'll be working longer too. We can see here that the number of over 65s staying in work is increasing. It currently stands at more than 1 million. Despite this, older workers are often put on the shelf. The number of people working starts to tail off when we reach 50 years old. For many, giving up work is the preferred choice, but for others, they're desperate to keep working as long as possible. The benefits of working aren't just personal. Recent research shows that if everyone worked 1 year longer, the UK's gross domestic product, how we calculate our economic growth, could increase by 1%, equivalent to £16 billion. Although employers aren't legally allowed to force an employee to retire, what else needs to change to ensure that people who want to work longer can? Well, that fellow there looks pretty happy working on. We're talking once again to Professor Jane Falkingham from the University of Southampton. You put this together. Tell us more about work then. For many of us, it's a very important part of our lives, but of course many of us want to retire at what used to be 60, 65. Is it easy to have those options?
Well, I think going forward, we're all living longer, and actually even today, someone who's 65 is going to live about another 20 years. So we've got to start rethinking retirement, and I think we need to start thinking about it earlier in the life course, because of course not everybody is in jobs where they can keep going, like if you're working in the construction industry or a nurse, etc. So you need to think about a series of careers really across our life course and think about the training and retraining we might need to put in place.
Because there are very few these days jobs for life. We do see people who've made fundamental career changes, you know, banker 1 minute, artisan baker the next. Do you expect that trend to continue, and is it essential that it does?
Yes, absolutely. I think we're going to see more and more people having a series of different careers, sort of a portfolio of life course. We need to think, if we're going to live to 100, and 1 in 3 children born today might do so, what does that mean for the life course? Do you really want to be establishing your career whilst you're also having your family, whilst you also maybe be caring for elderly parents? We call it the rush hour of life, and maybe we need to spread the rush hour out a little bit and slow down.
OK, if we could solve the problem of rush hour, I think you'd be very, very popular. Thank you very much indeed for joining us this morning. Let's see what everybody else thinks of those issues and indeed about work. Louise, back to you.
Yes, so the question is, are we all going